Agreed. Everything that you have.
If you're a woman that is focused on making more, having your own career, bringing in your own money, absolutely. I think, okay, so this is going to be my hot take. And no shade to either of you.
We're only 3 minutes in.
I know. I think marriage is for broke bitches. Ooh. And so I think a woman who wants to be married is leaning more into the patriarchy and wants to be essentially, possibly taken care of, have their man as the leader. All of the ideals for me of what marriage looks like is that. So I just saw my friends recently this weekend. She was like, did you want to be married? And I literally said, yeah, when I was poor. As a woman who can now like provide for herself, also doesn't want motherhood, and also sees a lot of these celebrity women now having to continue working because they have to pay alimony. I mean, we have even podcasters now paying alimony. Shout out to Rachel Lindsay. Like there's all of these people that once you make a certain amount of money, if your man doesn't, you have to pay them out. And I just don't want to be that.
That's a take.
I don't want to be that.
But you also start to protect. Agreed. Everything that you have.
If you're a woman.
When they say no shade, know that the bullshit is coming. That part. Imagine sitting next to your engaged friend / co-host, and you looked her dead in the face and said that marriage is for broke bitches. Ma'am. Now, before some of y'all start revving up on them keyboards, I am not trying to convince women to get married. If marriage isn't for you, that's your business. That is your life. My issue is when people take their personal experience and start explaining everybody else's. Because saying marriage isn't for me is one conversation, but marriage is for broke bitches? Now we are assigning motives to millions of women that we have never met. See, that's where you lose me. Now, personal experience isn't universal truth. Help me understand something. How do you know why another woman got married? Were you there? Did she tell you? Did every married woman get together and vote on one reason? Because people get married for all kinds of reasons. Love, faith, wanting a family, companionship, shared values, financial stability may be a part of that. But you notice I say a part? Because human beings rarely make the biggest decisions of their lives for one reason. And that's what throws me off about conversations like this. One person's experience suddenly becomes everybody else's motivation. How, Sway? Where do we make that jump? I thought we were celebrating women making their own decisions. So what happened to women's autonomy? I thought we wanted women to have choices. We spent years telling women, do what makes you happy, live your life, build the life that you want. Don't let society pressure you. And I agree with all of that. So why does that energy disappear when a woman says she wants to get married? See, that's what confuses me. A woman says she doesn't want kids, respect her choice. A woman says she wants to focus on her career, respect her choice. A woman says marriage is important to her. Now, all of a sudden, she wants somebody to take care of her. She's looking for a provider. She must be broke. But what happened to respecting her choice? Or do we only respect women's choices when they look the way we think they should? Because if we're really talking about autonomy, that has to include women whose choices are different from yours. And then, who are the actual women that she's talking about? Who are these women? And what does marriage even look like today? Because the picture that people keep painting doesn't match up to what I'm seeing. People aren't rushing to the altar at 20 like they used to. People are waiting longer, whether that's by choice or because life is expensive. They're finishing school, starting careers, trying to get financially stable, living on their own, and trying to figure out life before they ever get engaged. Some of them have been together for years before they even get married. So when I hear marriage is for broke bitches, based on who? Because that's not even the reality for a lot of people getting married today. Most people have already had adult responsibilities before they ever got married. Now, that doesn't sound like women running to marriage because they need somebody to rescue them. It sounds like two adults making a decision after they have already started building a life. And we actually see that reflected in the numbers. People are getting married later than previous generations. So the conversation around marriage has changed whether people want to admit it or not. Now, getting married later doesn't mean that you have reached your financial peak. Matter of fact, most people haven't. And that's exactly why this argument falls apart for me. Most people are still trying to get there. They're working toward the next promotion, trying to pay off debt, saving for a home, building retirement, starting a business, trying to make more this year than they made last year. And that's just how life goes. But let me ask y'all something. If two people decide to get married while they're both still building, how do we automatically land on she got married because she was broke? And that's the jump that I can't make, because there's a difference between building wealth and needing somebody to rescue you. Those are two completely different situations. Most people aren't rich. Most people aren't broke either. They're somewhere in the middle building a life together. And for a lot of married couples, they keep building after they get married. Their income changes, their careers change. Their income changes, their careers change. They buy homes, they have kids, they build a business. Life continues to move. So I don't know why people act like wherever you are financially on your wedding day is where you stay forever. That's not even how life works. And I think that's where people keep mixing two different ideas together. Benefiting from marriage and marrying because of money are not the same thing. And this is where I think people start oversimplifying how human beings make decisions. Can money be a part of the reason somebody gets married? Absolutely. I'm not arguing that, because money affects a lot of our decisions. But the part that I disagree with is acting like money has to be the only reason. And life doesn't work like that. People usually make major decisions for more than one reason: money, love, family, faith, security, shared values, companionship. Those things can all exist at the same time. One doesn't cancel the other out. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all something. If money was the only thing people cared about, why doesn't everybody go after the highest paying careers? Why do people become teachers, social workers, nonprofit leaders? Those careers don't usually top the salary charts, and yet people choose them every single day. Why? Because money is one consideration, not always the consideration. Marriage isn't any different. Can financial stability matter? Of course. Can somebody also marry because they love that person? Yes, they can. Because they want a family? Yes. Because of their faith? Yes. Those motives can coexist. So I can't look at a married woman and confidently say, oh, I know exactly why she got married. No, I don't. And neither do you. And that's why I think creators have to be careful with these broad statements that they're making, especially when they got a platform, and a large one at that. And this is where I think being a creator changes the conversation, because I'm a creator too. So I'm not pointing fingers at her, but I'm going to apply the same standard to myself. Everybody has opinions, and that's not the issue. The issue is what happens when your opinion reaches hundreds of thousands or millions of people. There's a difference between saying marriage isn't for me and saying marriage is for broke bitches. One tells me about your life, and the other tells millions of women why you think they got married, and those are not the same thing. That's why I think we have to be careful about turning our personal experiences into explanations for everybody else's life. You can absolutely share your story. Just don't confuse your story with everybody else's. Free speech gives us all the right to have opinions. Influence should make us more thoughtful about how we present those opinions, especially when we're talking about entire groups of people. But I'm not putting all of that on creators. I think that the audience has some responsibility too. Some of us give complete strangers way too much authority over our lives. Every week somebody goes viral for a new opinion. Don't get married, don't have kids, leave your job, start a business, move overseas. And every week people start questioning decisions they were perfectly happy with 5 minutes ago. But why? Why does somebody that you have never met get to shake your confidence like that? If you're happy being married, be married. If you're happy being single, be single. If you want kids, have kids. Know who you are before you open up these apps, because if you don't, every opinion is going to feel like it's about you. And let's be real, social media rewards strong opinions. The stronger the opinion, the more people react, the more people argue, the more people share it. And that's how these platforms are designed. Some people genuinely believe what they're saying, and some people know exactly what kind of statement is going to get everybody talking. But either way, the algorithm loves attention. It doesn't care whether people agree with you or disagree with you. So yes, I think creators have a responsibility to think before they speak. And I think audiences have a responsibility to think before they believe. Some of us give creators way too much authority over our lives. Every week somebody goes viral with a new opinion. Now you could disagree with marriage. You can disagree with married women. But what you can't do is invent millions of people's motivations and call it a fact. I can't go for that. A hot take is just a hot take until you can prove it. But that's my take. Now, do you think Mandii has a point? Or do you think we do too much when we start assigning motives to complete strangers? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Like the video, hype the video, share the video as well. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.